Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How you doing?
Not too bad for a Friday.
There you go. Yeah, open up the lobby here. Okay. So, show of hands, or not real hands, but is this live interactive format? You like this better, or is the anonymity of a live event? So, Jim, you like it liking this? Yeah.
I'm going to go with anonymity. I can't even say that word, but being anonymous.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can always just just stay quiet. That works too. From the recording's perspective, the recording it doesn't show who's on, so anonymity is okay for the recording. But this does give us a chance to really interact. So
Sometimes in the live format, by the time you type something into the chat, everybody else has already moved on, and so it
yeah,
becomes difficult to keep up with and get the most out of it. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to see everybody here today. Um, As always, I mean, this is office hours. It's for, you all to come with any questions. I think though people also come just to hear me geek out on teams and, maybe learn something new. So I always got something to talk about, but I'll, open it up and ask, if anybody's got anything they came here maybe to hear about. Happy to talk about that. Anything top of mind for anybody? Okay. If you think of anything while I'm talking, feel free to either come off mute or put it in the chat. What I was thinking about today was something I just saw recently in a team I had joined, where they had a very nice way of, in maybe like welcoming a new person to the team and making it a little easier for them to uh, get a feel for the channels in the meeting, because there were many of them. I think there were maybe 20 or so channels. And so they had a nice way of presenting them and a nice little note about telling the person to pin or spotlight the channels that they really wanted to focus on. So I thought I'd just show that. To some degree, this will be a little kind of basic, but there could be somebody out there that maybe wants to see the basics. So I'll just show that here. Let me actually share my screen for a second. Let's see. Go here and go here. All right. So let's say we're going to make a new team here. And we'll head to our create team. So again, for someone this, the basics of creating a team and creating channels might be useful. I'm going to create one from scratch, make it private, and I'll call it lots of channels. Create that, get that going. Nice work. I won't add anybody just yet because I want to show the experience. I'll add Deborah later. So I've got my new team with a new, or with the general channel. And so now I'm going to start adding a few channels. So I add channel. I won't be too creative. I'll just call it channel 1. Automatically show this in everyone's channel list. I'm not going to check that. And in the case of what I'm trying to describe, that would be key, is the team I joined had all of the channels hidden it was up to me to decide which of the 20 channels I wanted to see. And I liked that approach. So I don't want to assume my new users are going to love channel 1. So I won't check that. I'll add a few more here. I think for me, they'll all be showing, but we'll see what a new person looks like. So you can see this isn't too bad, even if you have a lot of channels to create. What I will do also is show the power of, oops. Now in this VM, I gotta use my little keyboard here, but I want to show the power of emojis in our titles. So maybe this is a, like a fun channel here, right? Add that. You'll notice that goes above the other channels there. And again, if I use that a lot, I could really start to kind of group channels together, maybe that have a similar purpose. Let's use that same one again. And then call it channel 4. So you can see if I use that a little more often, that's a way of either pushing certain channels to the top, knowing that our emojis will go ahead of non-emoji titles, or just a nice way of grouping similar channels together, or just a nice visual. I've often used just the good old-fashioned, let me add one more, good old-fashioned colored squares. Where do those hide? I think it's, yeah, these either circles or squares. So maybe it's I don't know if it's like an emergency channel or something. I might put a big red square there. Sometimes red is a scary color, but we'll go for it. Let's just call this emergency channel. So they'll show up nice and big, so that really stands out. Now the emojis usually go before the non-emojis, but then which emoji goes ahead of the other is a art form I haven't quite mastered yet. So why the balloon is ahead of the square, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some Unicode website out there that could explain this, but I haven't mastered that yet. So sometimes it's a hit or miss, if you're trying to use these for ordering. But I think we got enough channels here. So you can see for me, they're all showing, right? So I'm gonna get Deborah in the mix here. I think, or maybe even Nestor. What's this? Okay, that's Nestor, that's cool. So we got him going. We're gonna add him to the team. Oh, but before I do that, so we've got the channels here, but we only got 5. But imagine if this was 50. What this team I just joined recently, what they did was and it's some work, but it was well worth it for me as a new team member. They made a wiki page. I think it was a wiki, maybe it was a Word doc, but they had a tab dedicated to listing these channels. So for instance, let's go ahead and start a bulleted list, and I could just, do it really in any order or grouping that I want. Let's just do it this way. 3, channel 4, and maybe I would hit, maybe I want a little thing here and emergency. And so then for each one, they linked it up for me. So we just go to the channel, the 3 dots, get a link to the channel, copy that, I'm actually Control K, or well, I'll skip the shortcuts. I'll do it this way here. So the link button here, insert link, and then Control V on my keyboard to pop that in there. All right, same for, let's say, channel 3. I'll start using shortcuts now. So get a link, copy, Control K. Oops, usually that, maybe not in a wiki page. So let's, oh, what doesn't it like here? Oh, okay, Control K. Yeah, something's up with there. Control V. Let's go to channel 2, get link, copy, Channel 2, Control K, whatever, what's going on with that? Control K, there we go, Control V.
On the wiki, the edit disappears quickly, and so you
Yeah,
have to kind of double click and massage that to.
I think that was it, yeah. Yep, you copy, yeah, you're right, the edit goes away, so I'll bring it back. Yeah, and then my get link, depending on how I select this, when I do it that way, then it comes back. It's interesting. Insert, and one more. Just do complete, get link, copy. So that was 5, and that didn't take too long. There's not too much work there. Insert, right? And so we'll do that. We'll call this channels. Maybe we'll even rename this to channels list. And so then as a, oops, oh, and I put that in the wrong, I didn't really mean to put it there. I meant to put it in general, but we'll leave it there because what they also did was in the general section, it was a new like welcome message. So we'll make an announcement, maybe something like welcome, choose your channels. And they had a little blurb, and then they took me to that tab. So let's come back here. We will get copy link to tab. Come back here. Channels, channels list. Control K, Control V. All right. Maybe even make this a little bigger. Okay. So let's see what this looks like when Nestor comes in. So let's go ahead and add Nestor. All right. Coming in as a member. And when we go over, so that's his pop-up there. So yeah, he's already in. So yeah, so that's when he clicks that or he click the pop-up or even just kind of comes to the team itself. So there are a couple channels that are showing initially, but the rest of them are hidden. This actually happened in the team I joined as well. So I'm not sure why the first two. I guess I understand it. The first two are added, but the other, in my case, 20 some were hidden. So they come in, they get us welcome message, some nice info here, and then Nestor can go to this channels list, even though it happens to be an emergency channel. That was a mistake on my part. But they can then go here. So let's say, for instance, channel 4 is still hidden. One click, it pops right into channel 4 on this side, and then I can proceed to hit show or even pin. Go back, maybe it's channel 3. Obviously, these would be better named where I know, yes, I'm interested in that channel, but for each one I go to, you can see it popping up over here. If I do nothing, if I don't hit show or anything, then I'm, back to what I had before. But for the ones that I do click on, that one's already showing. Let's go back here. Click on channel 4. It shows nicely. Then I can hit show, and now it's kind of locked in. And I just thought that was nice. Again, a little work on my part as the team owner, but from Nestor or the members' perspective, this nice ability to see this nice listing of channels. And again, they could be grouped in a more intuitive way than what we get to group. We don't really get groupings in the channel concept, but I could group or label them or describe them, with extra info on the side of what they are. And then just with one click, I'm able to go to that channel and then hit pin. So in my case, there was 4 I was interested in, clicked 4 things, pinned them up. I ended up pinning the general channel so that one showed up top. So there's that to quickly get to it. But it just was a really nice way to get started in a team that had a lot of content. Jim, you got a question there? See your hand up.
Yeah, a question, comment, I guess, because when you're starting a new team, it's great to have that welcome message just there, but oftentimes that gets buried in the feed.
Yep.
And
So
just a thought that came to mind based on something I think you had showed last week, or maybe that I discovered, I don't know which, but the ability to share a message to Outlook, and you could
yeah,
actually email that message as part of
yeah.
the welcome. But my question, I guess, is there a way to have that message be part of the default message that is sent on behalf of the system to the person welcoming them to the team? Is there a way to link the two up together?
Nothing, not that I've seen from an end user perspective. I haven't seen any end user way of modifying the welcome message. Maybe there's something in the back end that could be done, but I haven't seen that done. But I like your idea of, yeah, sharing this to Outlook. So I'll get a nice little message here. So that's actually Nestor. Let me go to Ricardo, the team owner. Share this to Outlook. Get a nicely formatted email that I could send to myself. Where's my, just want to look. That's the wrong Outlook. And Microsoft.com. Send that to myself and then start sending that to any, new people would be pretty nice. I just want to see what that looks like when Nestor gets it. So that should come here eventually. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So then I would forward that to Nestor. Send that out. I've also seen people use Power Automate to automatically post a chat or post a chat to the channel to welcome new folks. It'll mention them, and then any content they want there. It's usually like introduce yourself to the team, and then they start a little reply thread in that automated post. So I've seen that happen as well. Let's go. Let's go to Nestor's email here. Take a look. So he's got that. So yeah, nice little message. Can hit that and go. And let's actually open it up for Ricardo. Let's try that one more time. Let's see. Where's my email? All right, here. No, I'm in the wrong. Got too many profiles going on. Let's switch. Nestor is here. Go here for Outlook. There we go. Go here. Channel list. I want to open it in this web app. And that should take me right to the channels list where I can then start to do my thing again. So yeah, I like that idea. The other idea I was thinking of was taking this, let's get out of Nestor, taking this message and pinning it to that channel such that even as this fills up with messages, at least someone like Nestor, let's say, could come over here and see the pinned post, which would be that one that he could always get back to. That kind of requires the members to kind of know the pinned concept, know that this button actually will show any pinned ones, but still better than nothing. And then the other approach would be if I created a channel, let's call it welcome, and I would try to find a way to make it like the second channel, maybe right after general. I could do that same post. Let's just, just do something here. And then I could moderate this channel to make sure nobody else can put any additional posts. Now why isn't it letting me? Because I keep coming in here as Nestor. I want to be the owner. So let's come in here. I think I can still do it. So Nestor actually ended up making that post. But as the owner, I want to manage the channel. I want channel moderation on. Team owners are the only ones who can start a new post, only moderators. I may not even want replies, right? I just want this. Maybe I don't want anything except that one message to show. So I do that. I come in here. So now for that welcome channel, it should always just look like this. There shouldn't be any other content added. So when Nestor or anybody comes in, they should see that they have no ability to put more conversation, so that welcome message will always be front and center. And so maybe my email or whatever just sends people to the welcome channel, which would have all the content, that I want them to see sitting right there. So yeah, so three good ways of, spotlighting this welcome message. Really four that we didn't show, which is Power Automate, maybe as an automated message to a new user. So maybe every time, maybe that's in the welcome channel. When Power Automate sees Nestor's been added, then a new channel posts @mention Nestor and say something like, "Hey, welcome," introduce yourself or something like that. And of course, the message about the channel list and things. So again, a nice little onboarding way, of getting someone in a channel, helping them kind of navigate and understand what content is there, and doing things appropriately. So yeah, I thought that was nice. I mean, even as a longtime Teams user coming into that team, that felt very. It really helped me get started, right away. So I thought that was worth showing.
Yeah, definitely. And what it really is doing is helping to define with intent the user experience for that particular team or channel.
Right. Yeah, because I could certainly put good descriptions on these to kind of let the user know, what's going on there, maybe which ones are the most popular. I've created teams where I have added what I call preferred channels, and those would be ones that I would auto set to unhide. So I'm essentially telling a new user, whether you know it or not, or maybe even whether you like it or not, here are the 4 channels that you really should have shown. This is where that most of the activity is going to be, and everything else, maybe consider it more of an archive or a less used channel. Of course, even with that approach, even though I automatically might show the emergency channel or the welcome channel, the user still has the option to come in and hide it. So in the case of the one I created, I think it was maybe 8 preferred channels. That may be too much for somebody. They can still come in and say, okay, I get it. Those are the 8, but I only want to show these 4. So they certainly have that option. And that's why I'm a fan of use as many channels as you need, because I just remember that the end user has the ability to manage their own channels. So just because a team has 20 channels, then it doesn't mean my users have to be overwhelmed by 20 channels. They can whittle that down to 4 and hide the rest. But this approach I like, where it hides them all, and then you decide which ones to show. I thought that was nice, while at the same time still giving you the full breadth of what's out there, maybe in a more consumable or intuitive way than just the straight channel list.
I was thinking another way of maybe displaying that as a tab might be to use list and create that.
That's true. Yeah, what that would do is, then if I did have more properties related to these channels, now I could start to sort and filter. So maybe channels 1, 2, 3 are teams related, and 4 through 6 are office related. In that list, you're right. Then I could filter on type and then only see those channels. Put a link in there. That's a good point too. Yeah. Maybe that's
Does
for the
this have the
session.
ability to incorporate visuals like graphics inside of a cell? Because I've had only limited experience with it.
Oh, with lists, you mean?
With list, yeah, and I haven't seen whether or not that's feasible.
Yeah, there is I think there is a photo or image column um, that you could probably use. and certainly lists have lots of color pieces. Let me take a quick look because some of the templates might even leverage some pictures. Let's see, create a list, and I'm trying to think which of these might have pictures. Da, 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 da. Yeah, just from the, I can't tell which one of these might have pictures, but let's go with recruitment tracker because that's probably got, I thought that might have an image of the person. Go back one and see. At least they give us a little sampling. Da, da, da. Create a list. It's maybe asset manager. In fact, there you go. This is one with the device photo. And I believe that's just an image or photo property or column. So yeah, so you could put some pictures here. So yeah, to your point, if these were channel names instead of asset tags with some kind of visual on the side, and then something about the type of channel that it is, yes, that could be a nice. Might be for the team owner, might be a little more work than the wiki page, but certainly visually nicer and giving that end user a little more flexibility.
But I think in terms of maintaining the integrity of it, the list may give you more ability to permission that,
Yeah,
as opposed to inadvertently editing something.
true. Yeah, then you get in all kind of things like alerts on when new list items are added, or when new channels are added, or any kind of workflow now that the list could integrate with. Yeah, I could see a bunch going on there. So yeah, it's interesting. So cool. I'm glad I showed that. I think hopefully I helped you all, but you all certainly helped me see even more ways that could be taken to the next level. So yeah, maybe in the next one, if there's no, if I can't think of anything else, maybe we dive into this list concept, maybe even dive into that Power Automate concept for, displaying a message for a new user, in the channel. So just the whole theme of onboarding, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. One of the things I've struggled with is trying to understand the permission levels for the underlying SharePoint site, because I've been using it more and more to bubble things up into the Teams environment, by creating the different tabs for the different, web parts and stuff, because it provides a pretty compelling visual. But right now, we only have the permission level set for the owners or the members. There's nothing in there for a moderator. And so it's either everybody has the edit capability or nobody has it, and it becomes problematic. So, and there's so many different options to try and understand what each one does.
Yeah. By default, the site associated with the team wants to be really open to the team. Everybody can see and do everything. If you're now trying to combine a very open team environment with maybe a more formal structured, maybe news publishing environment, you can certainly do it because there are permission levels behind the scenes in SharePoint related to a designer role versus, or yeah, I think they still call it designer versus members and whatnot, and who can create or approve posts and those kind of things. So now you're getting it more into the SharePoint world. It will certainly do it, but you're starting to break away from the kind of no-brainer let teams handle my SharePoint site. You're kind of breaking a little, and break might be a bad word, but you're kind of straying away from letting teams do it and keeping it simple to adding a little more complexity, which if the needs require it, then yes, it can certainly get done. Awesome. I will. You also notice here those emojis. That's why they're pretty powerful. I mean, they come through even here on the folder names. So you might ask yourself, when we have posted some announcements about new emojis and whatnot, and I know I've asked myself, what's the big deal? Why is Microsoft so excited about these emojis? Until I realized that they're characters, and so they show everywhere, and that's one of the values of it. Even for instance, as I come in here, channel 4, I think is the channel name up here. Yeah, you can see even in the URL. I mean, the PC treats it as a character, so it's showing up in the URL as well. So to me, that's that value of knowing that these pictures that I choose will persist, across most, if not all, of the places where I would show them. There are some places where you do lose the color, but the image is still there. So they can be nice, and they certainly add some nice visual elements to your to your labels.
Definitely.
Yep. Cool stuff. Well, hope that was helpful. We're kind of at time here, but keep going next week, same time, same channel, and glad everybody was able to make it.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, Ricardo.
Yep. See you all.